Hi gang, back with another video for you today. I've got Andy here with me.
Back again.
So, I have been a admirer of Boadicea the Victorious fragrances, but I've been overwhelmed with the brand. Whenever I visit Europe, I go to the stores and they have a ton of their fragrances, especially in London, like Selfridges and Harrods. But thankfully now, ZGO Perfumery has brought in the brand, and they have a nice curated collection of 8 to 10 fragrances, right?
You got it.
So in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 Boadicea the Victorious fragrances. If you're curious to learn about them, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian, and that's Andy.
Yes.
If you don't know Andy, he works at ZGO. I'm sure some of you have seen him there. But if you go after watching this video, tell him Sebastian sent you.
Yep. Come say what's up.
So several years ago, probably like a year and a half, I should say, like a year and a half to 2 years ago, I discovered Harmonious at Selfridges. I think this was exclusive, apparently, that's what they told me. I fell in love with it because it reminds me of a favorite fragrance of mine. But I've gone through the fragrances at ZGO, and we've got 5 fragrances here to talk to you about. One of them is Harmonious. We also have Ardent. We have Blue Sapphire. We have Bodacious. Such a delicious cherry fragrance.
Best name.
Best name, yeah. And then Energizer, which Andy and I spoke about recently in a Beast Mode Summer Fragrances video. Let us know if you're a fan of the brand and what fragrances you enjoy from the brand. Let's get started. We're going to do this in alphabetical order. So the first fragrance we're going to talk to you about is Ardent. I should also say, if you're curious to discover the brand more, I have links to the fragrances over at ZGO Perfumery, or go see Andy and he'll show you the brand.
We'll walk you through it.
But Ardent, yeah. Ardent is very familiar to me. It reminds me of a fragrance I wore a lot of around 10-12 years ago called Noir de Noir. It's a bit different, not identical, but it is a rose bomb. It's featuring Rose Absolute, Turkish Rose. There's Beeswax here. There's vanilla, patchouli, agarwood, benzoin, amber, cistus labdanum, musk, saffron, coriander, hedione, and carrot seeds. Do you get the similarities to Noir de Noir here?
Yeah, for sure. Like we talked about, I think the only thing that sets it apart is the beeswax thing going on in there. That mixed with the oud, it gives it this sophisticated sweetness and like a more waxy feel.
I do get the waxiness for sure from that beeswax, but you know what? There's also a bit of a candied effect happening in there, like a rose candy against all the other notes. It's very ambery, powdery.
Yeah. It doesn't come off of like a jammy rose by any means, though. It's very, very nice. I do get that like candied feel for sure.
Yeah, it's a drier rose. There's not a lot of juicy, jamminess in there. But it is definitely about the rose. There's a lot of rose here, and it's nicely mixed in with beeswax. That's also kind of creating a bit of a waxy lipsticky effect. The rose does that.
Yeah.
So it's not identical to the Tom Ford Noir de Noir, which I considered a chypre because it has oak moss in it, lots of patchouli, and some other notes like truffles. This is missing the truffles. It's missing the oak moss, and I feel like it's creating a bit of a candied lipsticky vibe here.
Right. Yeah, a little bit more dressed up.
Yeah, it's a bit more elegant, and I think it's orris. Like there's an orris-like note in here. It's giving me a powdery vibe. It could also be violets, because typically violets and rose creates a bit of a lipsticky vibe, but
yeah, no, I would say the same. I definitely noticed that like powdery undertone. It makes it smooth though. I don't think it adds like I don't know, the too makeup-y of an effect, but it makes it nice and smooth.
Yeah, I think it's that beeswax that's giving us that smoothness. But you know what's giving us the powdery effect is the carrot seeds, because there's a ton of carrot seeds in here. And carrot seeds and orris iris kind of have similarities.
Mimic each other a little bit. Yeah.
But I think this is one of the best I've smelled from the house. I absolutely love the smell. It's so good. So good. And if you're looking for something similar to Noir de Noir, but you want a little change of pace from it, I think Ardent will be perfect.
For sure. So very luxurious.
It's very luxurious for sure. And it's got Ardent written on the back there. Do you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it's a great fragrance. It's definitely I would say it fits more into like a mature class of fragrance, I would say.
Okay.
Wouldn't say it's like the most youthful of the line, but I think it does smell like very like rich, luxurious, like I said.
Yeah.
So.
And the fragrances do seem very rich, like the way he's saying.
Oh, yeah.
They're dense and hefty.
Yeah.
They're not wimps. So when you spray these, you experience the fragrances fully.
Yeah, beast mode, Boadicea.
Yeah, beast mode, Boadicea. So Ardent is the first fragrance we're talking about. Let us know if you're a fan of Ardent. And let's move on to Blue Sapphire. And he's mentioning mature. I think this is definitely the most mature here.
Yes.
Also a bit animalic and oody.
Yeah.
And it could be a bit challenging, but once again, it's still very luxurious.
Yeah, no. Definitely, like you said, the most challenging out of the 5. But I think what is crazy about this brand is that even though it's based out of the UK, it gives me such a Middle Eastern vibe, and I think it's because of this Blue Sapphire fragrance. It's just like that super strong kind of animalic oud presence, but just the like how beast mode that these fragrances are. It makes it feel like it's a Middle Eastern brand.
Yeah, this one's very Middle Eastern. Of course, when I visit London, I go upstairs to the salon in Harrods, and you could experience the whole brand there. They've got a ton of fragrances. But before we go further, I want to let you know the notes in this. It's oud, rose, patchouli, amber, jasmine, cardamom, lemons, and orange. I feel like the rose is there, but it's not in your face. I experienced the citruses quite a bit more. Like the orange kind of comes through.
Yeah, definitely.
The lemons, for sure. And it's not necessarily extremely sweet. It's a bit on the sour side rather than the sweet side. Maybe it's because of the citruses that are in here.
Right.
And then the cardamom provides a little bit of a soapy effect in there as well. An aromatic, spicy soapiness.
Yeah, it's interesting how all of these notes work together, because I feel like off of first glimpse of like looking at the notes of this fragrance, you wouldn't expect it to smell the way it does.
Yeah.
In a very good way.
When I was looking at the notes breakdown, I was thinking this is going to be another oud rose combo, but I think the rose for me is pretty faint. It's not
For sure.
It's not the like a very prominent note. It's there. It's just there to kind of enhance and, you know,
Yeah, kind of
push the fragrance along.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of play along with the other ones, but I do get that like very strong rose, right? Orange off the bat.
Yeah, off the bat, the orange just hits your nose. It's pretty strong and potent, but very luxurious, very Middle Eastern for sure.
Yeah, and very mature.
Yeah, and just like he was saying, it's a UK brand, but I mean, there's a lot of Middle Easterners, wealthy Middle Easterners that visit the UK, so I'm sure they go and check out some of the fragrances of Boadicea the Victorious. Yeah, do you have a pretty large clientele for that one?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, I think it definitely caters towards like a more mature audience that have bigger pockets than the others to buy a fragrance like that. But definitely we have people come through that are looking for fragrances just like this. So
cool. All right. So that is Blue Sapphire. All right, next up is a fragrance called Bodacious. Love the name. I love that name, by the way. So I'm surprised how good this is. It's a cherry fragrance, but to me, what I get with this one is fermented cherry wine.
Oh,
Does that happen to you?
I get like more of a
Mulled wine?
Oh, okay.
Something like that?
I get like an amaretto thing going on, I think.
Well, it's quite almondy.
Yeah. I think there's like that syrupy mixture of the cherry makes it come off as like an amaretto thing.
Interesting.
I don't quite pick up the fermented cherry though.
Yeah, it's giving me wine vibes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like you know the fragrance from Liquid Imaginaire, the Dom Rosa.
Oh yeah.
There's that smell of like aged wine and barrels and things like that.
I can totally
it's
see.
in here for sure. But this is a cherry bomb. It's cherries, tonka beans, cognac, almonds, tobacco, vanilla, sandalwood, amber, vetiver, musk, heliotrope, jasmine, sambac, cloves, Moroccan rose.
This is killer.
It's one of the best cherry fragrances I've actually put my nose on.
Yes.
And it's also very alive. Like this thing, it's almost like the word three-dimensional comes to mind because it's like...
Yes. This checks all the boxes for me too. It's like a boozy gourmand. You get that really nice tobacco vanilla dry down, and I haven't found too many cherry fragrances too that I go for, and it's nice that this one, it just like mixes really well with the almond and it doesn't linger for too long for the cherry.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's very sweet. For sure it's almondy. There's the booziness in there, and I think that's what's giving me the cherry wine effect.
Right.
But I think that's one of the best cherry fragrances I've ever
Yeah.
put my nose on. That's amazing.
Slept on.
It's really
Slept on.
alive. Like it's a fragrance that's really like pop, pop,
Yeah,
pop.
layers to it.
Yeah, Bodacious is Bodacious.
It's bodacious.
And then the fourth fragrance we're talking about is Energizer. We spoke about this in a Beast Mode Summer Fragrances video recently. If you haven't caught it, please go catch that video. But really authentic, real smelling grapefruit and the skin together.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like if you've taken the skin and you're like doing that backwards and it's like spurting out the oils. It's captured here perfectly. It's like one of the best authentic and realistic smelling grapefruit.
It's so nice too, because I feel like not too often do you come across like a very unique citrus like this, especially just with the note breakdown. You wouldn't think it would be anything super far from anything you've smelled with that same note breakdown, but it's so riney and alive, like you said, and it's like got this
The rind, for sure. The rind is there.
Something. It's so good.
But the notes breakdown is grapefruit, vetiver, bergamot, oranges, lemons, musk. I think this is one of the best grapefruit examples. Like if you love the idea of grapefruit perfume, must try this. The other thing I need to tell you guys, I've been asked if this is similar to Tigar or Vibrato or any of those fragrances. It's not.
No, nowhere
They're
near.
not the same.
No.
This is a complete different smell. Even though it's using grapefruit, they're totally different.
Yeah, very different. Well,
it's a great grapefruit, guys. Please try it if you love that citrus note. I think it's amazing.
Yes.
Energizer, and I love the name.
Yeah.
It's not a battery, though.
No battery, but I mean, I definitely understand the idea behind the name. Is it's like a very fueling fragrance. It's very alive. So,
Yeah, it's energizing.
It's energizing.
And last but not least, we're talking about Harmonious. I do have a full review of this on the channel. The only reason I bought it because it's got that DNA of Dior Homme Parfum. Absolutely love that. It's also very makeup-y, lipsticky. It's a really delicious take on a powdery orris fragrance with ambrette.
Yeah, I love the idea that this is like I would say a little bit more accessible partner to Dior Homme Parfum, but it has a little bit more of maybe slightly boozier take on like a Dior Homme Parfum, but it still has that like really nice like powdery lipstick iris dry down, but maybe a little bit more leathery.
Very luxurious too, just like all the fragrances here from this house. Featuring notes of ambrette, orris, leather, musks, vanilla, sandalwood, rose and May rose, rum, cognac, cardamom, cashmere wood, cedar wood, patchouli, vetiver, suede, coriander, bergamot, and cinnamon. Lots of notes here.
Yeah, they're not holding back. They want to make sure that there's plenty of layers to this. Yeah,
it's absolutely fantastic. Really, if you're an orris lover and you like musky fragrances with leather and rose, you've got to try this.
Yeah.
For sure, it's got the makeup effect happening in there. Do you think?
Oh yeah, but it's so refined though. I love it. It feels like you said way more luxurious.
Do you also get a bit of vegetal touch in there?
Yeah, I do feel like I pick up a little bit of like a green note in here.
I think the orris and also the ambrette creates a bit of that vegetal thing in there. It doesn't have that uber sweetness.
No.
Even though there's vanilla in there.
On skin though, I feel like I haven't noticed that like super vegetal like ambrette thing going on. I still get like the same sort of like dry down as the close to the Dior Homme Parfum.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a bit different for me.
Yeah.
It is definitely a bit different. But that's not to say it's a bad fragrance. It's a fantastic fragrance.
No, yeah.
This is amazing, guys. All of these fragrances are really, really amazing, including Harmonious. That's the reason I bought it, and I even bought a backup bottle. Go figure that. Ordered from Selfridges, because after I brought mine back from Selfridges, I had to go get another one because it was so good. But they are selling at ZGO Perfumery right now. Which other ones do you guys have besides these?
We have a few other ones. One called Valiant. I think that's one of their most expensive fragrances. That, if you want to smell really luxurious fragrance, come by and I'll show it to you. It's quite an experience.
Valiant,
yes.
Okay.
We have Night of Love. That's another one that's in a similar style to this bottle, but it's green. And it's a really nice, like kind of a citrus fougere going on. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple other ones.
I need to go check
really
those
nice.
out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Put a comment down below and let us know which fragrances of the brand Boadicea the Victorious are your favorites. If you don't know the brand, does anything sound great to you? Put a comment down so we can find out. But either way, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. And I'll probably bring him back for more.
For sure.
See you later.